one of the most brutal, over-the-top, and honestly best action movies of the 80s, is making a comeback on free streaming. The 80s were undoubtedly the golden age of action films. And the decade introduced us to Arnold Schwarzenegger, made Stallone a household action star, and gave us hits like The Best Movie, the cult classic, and so many more. But one of the best action films of the decade blended the over-the-top action that the 80s were known for with the growing influence of Asian martial arts movies. We're, of course, talking about The Muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme's best film, Bloodsport, which is currently streaming for free, is available to stream for free on Tubi. In fact, the film is fighting its way up the streaming charts, as it is currently the ninth most popular movie on the free streaming site. Directed by Newt Arnold and released in 1988, helped to make Jean-Claude Van Damme a household name because the film was Van Damme's first major hit, leading to roles in the cult classic, a cameo in, and an insane number of Coors Light commercials. Featured the most coded action plot, that of a former soldier fighting in an extreme martial arts tournament to the death. Van Damme starred as Frank Dux, said a former soldier who fights in an extreme martial arts tournament to the death. That's about all there is to it, really. Let's be honest, nobody watches for the plot. We watch it for those sweet kickboxing scenes, blood-soaked fight scenes, well, very unrealistic, have etched their way into cinema history. Bloodsport is a 80s cult classic. It's very easy to call an old film a cult classic. But that category is usually reserved for two types of films: ones that flopped at the box office but found a second life on VHS/DVD streaming, and those that critics absolutely slated but audiences loved. Falls into the latter category. When it was released in 1988, it grossed just over $50 million worldwide. That might not sound like much, but considering it was shot for a measly $1.5 million, it's an impressive feat. And but critics weren't sold on Jean-Claude Van Damme's film that's entirely wish fulfillment with a bit of plot tacked on. The film holds a divisive, literally, 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, from a blend of original and new reviews. However, among action fans, is a fan favorite, along with, and it is easily Van Damme's most popular movie. The fight scenes are ridiculous, but the film embraces its absurd nature, and as a result, won the hearts of fans. It holds a far stronger 75% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But the film has also inspired countless spoofs and homages in other action movies, with Van Damme's iconic splits, Punch becoming a thing of cinematic legend. Before we kick things off, quick friendly reminder: subscribe to our channel and hit that like button if you're enjoying the ride. Have you ever caught yourself rooting for an underdog fighter in a ring where every punch feels impossible? Uh, Picture this. It's the 1980s. Action heroes are exploding onto screens. Arnold flexes, Stallone shoots, and films like Lethal Weapon and Raiders rumble. And but one movie blends brute force with martial arts flair. Enter Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. This brutal tale stars a soldier battling in a deadly tournament. The plot, simple, the fights. Savage, directed by Newt Arnold in 1988. It's now streaming free on Tubi, climbing the charts as the 9th most popular title. Doing this, Van Damme's debut hit launched him. Roles in Kickboxer, Street Fighter, even a Friends cameo and beer ads. Fans flock. And for the unrealistic yet iconic kickboxing, Bloodsport grossed over $50 million on a tiny $1.5 million budget. Critics were split, holding a 50% Rotten Tomatoes score, but audiences adored it, rating 75%. It's a cult classic, embraced by fans. It inspired spoofs and homages, with Van Damme's split punch becoming legendary. Why watch? Why for those over-the-top, blood-stained action scenes? Remember, in Bloodsport, even the nosebleed is just part of the choreography. Speaking of which, why did Van Damme never get a flu shot? He preferred his kicks to be natural. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. The task is to generate a clickbait title that's fun and engaging for the user. Clickbait titles aim to grab attention with curiosity and excitement, often using phrases like "you won't believe" or "secrets revealed." The title should be concise, memorable, and align with the content's purpose, avoiding misleading claims. And considering the fun tone, the title could play on intrigue or surprise to hook the reader effectively. Planning to craft a title that balances creativity with clarity, ensuring it resonates with the audience interests. Usage will divide us tokens, details, prompt tokens, none, or details. Cache. Before we kick things off, a quick friendly reminder: subscribe to our channel and hit that like button if you're enjoying the ride. Have you ever caught yourself rooting for an underdog fighter in a ring where every punch feels impossible? And picture this. It's the 1980s. Action heroes are exploding onto screens. Arnold flexes, Stallone shoots, and films like Lethal Weapon and Raiders rumble. But one movie blends brute force with martial arts flair. Enter Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. This brutal tale stars a soldier battling in a deadly tournament. Uh, the the plot, uh, simple. Um, the fights, savage that take directed by Newt Arnold in 1988. It's now streaming free on Tubi, climbing the charts as the ninth most popular title. Sod. Van Damme's debut hit launched him. Roles in Kickboxer, Street Fighter, even a Friends cameo, and beer ads. Fans flock for the unrealistic yet iconic kickboxing. Bloodsport grossed over $50 million on a tiny $1.5 million budget. Critics were split, holding a 50% Rotten Tomatoes score, but audiences adored it, rating 75%. It's a cult classic embraced by fans. It inspired spoofs and homages, with Van Damme's split punch becoming legendary. Why watch? For those over-the-top, blood-stained action scenes. Remember, in Bloodsport, even a nosebleed is just part of the choreography. Speaking of which, why Dick Van Damme never get a flu shot? He preferred his kicks to be natural. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.